there. My name is Jasmin Haley, and I'm a nationally awarded speaker, podcaster, pro educator, and a biz strategist. And I first want to thank Nia for inviting me on her platform to share an encouraging message for you all. Now, I grew up in New York City, in the inner city, and I have learned so much along the way of my journey of going through college and moving into the work that I'm doing now. And so I want to share with you some lessons I've learned along my journey that I know for sure will help give you the courage to continue to pursue your goals. When I was in school, I knew I had a love for teeth. That's right. I knew I wanted to work in the dental industry. So I went to a specialized high school so I can dive in more into that industry and eventually wind up becoming licensed in that industry. But when I initially thought that I would be in education, once I decided to teach at a college level, I came to realize that everything I had planned for myself from the time I was in high school into doing the work that I do now, which is to help entrepreneurs as a biz strategist, that everything I had planned wasn't exactly what my purpose was meant to be. So I have 3 things that I want to share with you today. And I love using acronyms to teach. So here's the acronym, CCS. Go ahead and write it down, CCS. Now here's the first one. Keep this in mind. With all that you are doing, circumstance. Understand that your current circumstances do not dictate whether or not you will be successful in your life. So if you're raised in a single parent home like myself, or you're raised with both parents or no parents and you have limited means, understand that your current challenging circumstances will not dictate or get in the way with what God has purposed for your life. It's really important to remember that, because when I knew I wanted to go to college, none of my other siblings had attempted that. I was a 5th child out of 6. And yet I had a goal, I had a desire, and I did not allow my current circumstances to prevent me from getting there. And although I may have had to maneuver some things, unlike my colleagues, or I had to accept menial jobs to work at night to support myself, I never allowed my current circumstances to dictate what my future would be. Okay, number 2, confidence. Some people feel like they have to have all of the confidence in the world to conquer goals that are scary. Guess what? Do it anyway. You're going to have a huge amount of fear, and that's normal. You've never decided to ever conquer this particular goal that you're reaching out for. This is what I want you to understand, that as you are building your life and your legacy, I'll talk about that in a moment, it's so important for you to understand that your confidence should be based on who you are, not on what you have. I heard that for the first time from an amazing entrepreneur named Ashley Nicole, and it really put things in perspective for me. If I judge by what I had or the lack thereof, I would never be able to step into my God-given purpose. So as you are working towards your goals, one of the key things that I need you to work on now, especially as a young person, is to never allow your confidence to be built on what you have, the amount of money you have in your bank account, what resources that you may have. None of that is a reflection of the amazing, awesome person that you are. And so keep that in mind when you know who you are, no matter what the naysayers say, no matter what this person may say over here, none of that will be able to knock you down, because you know what's for you and you know you're fully capable of achieving whatever you desire if you put your mind to it. All right, here's the last one. Story. Share your story. Never be afraid because of whatever life you may have dealt with that you feel that you shouldn't share your story. When I get up and I share my story, when I stand on stages and I speak to hundreds of people, when I go out and I share my story on my learning platforms in a very public way, I know that when I share my story, I'm setting someone free. So never be ashamed of where you come from, what challenges you may need to overcome, because they're going to be there. Be willing to share your story because you don't know who at what point along your journey you can help someone else. Be flexible. You have to understand that what you plan out may change from here to there. And that's okay. As long as you feel and you know deep down inside you're in alignment with who you are and you're honoring who you are. And those chances of you taking that time to actually understand whether or not you're honoring who you are, guess what? You're honoring your purpose. And until you take action, that's where the clarity will come with where you're meant to serve. So be flexible. The other final point that I want to make mention to you, yes, you're a young person. I get it. I understand. So am I. I'm in my 30s. I'm still relatively young. But one of the key things I want you to keep in mind is that we all have our own legacy. Every single person here on this earth. So that means that every interaction you make, every decision that you make, every relationship that you build is a part of your legacy. So make it count. Live your life with joy and understand how impactful the right choices, how impactful when you choose to follow your purpose, how impactful when you choose to follow your goals is to your legacy. Me spending time with you here is a part of my legacy. You taking this knowledge and sharing with someone else is a part of your legacy. So make it count. There's a quote I want to share with you from one of my favorite motivational speakers that are out there. His name is Les Brown, and this is what he stated. The graveyard is the richest place on earth because it is here that you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, all because someone was too afraid to take that first step, keep with the problem, or determined to carry out their dream. My friends, I am encouraging you to ferociously go after your goals and understand that every single time that you do that, every single time that you choose to honor your God-given purpose, you're not filling the richest place on earth, which is the graveyard. Many people allow fear to keep them from pursuing their goals. So I'm here to tell you, friend, from one goal digger to another goal digger, I really want to encourage you to reach for the stars every step of the way. Enjoy this ride and understand that your circumstances, your confidence, and your story are important aspects that you should always keep in mind as you move forward to achieve your goals. All right. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.